But you see, GAiN is not this kind of big multinational American outfit with all these dollars pouring in. That GAiN is you. You are the people that make GAiN what it is and are able to do what it does. It's mobilising people and resources to demonstrate the love and compassion of God for poor and needy people in the world. And I love the use of the word demonstrate the love of God in word and deed. There's an explanation. Why are you doing this? And then people ask, it's shared. But it's a tangible expression that God loves you. And we, compelled by His love, want to help make a little bit of difference in your life. And that's what motivates GAiN. GAiN is a part of Campus Crusade for Christ. A much wider international mission organisation, and so it doesn't operate in isolation. So when I was a kid growing up, I was in Victoria, that's my home state, and I lived in the Latrobe Valley. In the Latrobe Valley, I joined, along with my mates, the Morwell Tiger Cubs AFL football team, under 13s. The under 13s played at like 8 a.m. Saturday morning, and so most parents didn't bother to come, and in the Latrobe Valley, 8 a.m. Saturday mornings in winter, there's really thick fog. And I can literally remember being positioned to the wing, which is way out on the side of the field, with my opponent. And for the first 15-minute quarter, we never saw anyone else on the field. It was just blanketed in fog. It was me and him having a conversation. We could hear the noises off in the distance. We could occasionally hear a ball being kicked. We didn't see anything. And then we came in quarter time, changed ends. At the other end, same thing. And eventually, this was quite demoralising, and we both looked at each other and said, let's go and touch the ball. And so we just ran off into the fog and fought our way and touched the ball. Now, team sport, if you don't know where your bit of contribution contributes to everyone else's bit of a contribution, there's no fun at all. You see, in team sport, everybody's bit has to connect to someone else's bit, or the team doesn't work. The ball doesn't get moved. The score never gets registered. And you can't win games. GAiN seeks to help lift the fog so the little bit of contribution you can make connects with a bigger team that is actually playing a much bigger game and is able to have a lasting impact in communities. Just came back from the India trip, which was a lot of fun. And in the debrief time, coming back, chatting with different people on our team, one person said to me, but kind of what difference has it made? You know, there's such a big need. We were there for 2 weeks and now we're going back and, you know, it all just goes back to normal. I had to help the fog to lift and realised, you know what? There were people there before we got there. They've been working in that community for years, praying for it, building connections. There's a church in that community, a community of local people that love their community and that are already working. And they invited us to come in. So we came in, we handled the ball for a brief moment, but they continued to move it down the field. And we are just part of a much bigger picture. So Global Aid Network operates as a network. It's a network of people in Australia that give, that pray, that go, that work. And it's a network of people overseas that are already on the ground in our organisation and other partnering organisations that we work with in different countries. And then globally, GAiN Australia is one of close to a dozen different GAiNs from different countries around the world, each who have their own special contribution to make. Germany is really great at logistics. They have a whole fleet of semi-trailers with GAiN logos all there, so they are shipping stuff all across Europe and across all the way as far over towards the Middle East. They can drive a truck a long way if you start in Germany, I can tell you. And so if we have stuff to ship, they get it, help us get it there. GAiN Canada is one of their big specialties is water wells. They've got it down to a fine art and they are drilling them place after place after place all through Africa. And that's being tied in with people that are doing ongoing community development. So we don't have to be everything. We don't have to be everywhere on the field. But we have to know what's our goal, demonstrating the love of God in word and deed to pour into the people in the world, and mobilising resources to make a difference. And we play as part of a much bigger team. Our vision and ongoing direction for GAiN Australia is to add capacity to our team here, the part of the team here in Australia, that we can make a bigger contribution to the overall outcome. And obviously we need more staff, we need more people, etc., etc. And that our capacity would grow into the future. We particularly focus on Southeast Asia. So in the whole Global Aid Network group, we're the point people for Southeast Asia and Oceania, the Pacific. So if there's anything happens in this part of the world, the resources get channeled down through us, and our guys have to give oversight for what happens. Much more to be said, and the evening will progress. But I just want to share with you a verse to sum that up. In John chapter 4, we have a story where Jesus and his team are walking through an area they didn't normally go through called Samaria. Jesus has an encounter with a woman at the well of Jacob. That was an Old Testament site. The well's still there today, actually. And this woman's life is impacted by this one encounter. She goes into the village and the whole village comes out to meet Jesus. There's a transformation story happening right in this little glimpse. The disciples come back, the team, and they are wondering what's going on here, and perhaps thinking, wow, that's a pretty amazing response. You know, one brief encounter and look what happened. But look at what Jesus said. He said it, as soon as I can find it, he'll say it. Here it is. When the Samaritans came to him, they urged him to stay. And Jesus said to his team, don't say there's 4 more months and then there's harvest to be done. I'll tell you, open your eyes now and look at the fields. They are ripe for harvest right now. He's using a metaphor of agriculture, obviously. And then he says, I sent you to reap what you have not sown. Others have done the hard work, and you have reaped the benefits of their labour. In other words, before you got here, team, there was a lot of hard work being put in. And your moment of encounter saw an amazing response. But sometimes we're called upon to be the people that do all the hard work, and someone else sees the amazing response further down the track. You see, it's teamwork. Not everyone gets to kick the goal, but we all get to win the game. And that's a picture of how GAiN operates.